Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing What If Europe Went Back to 1914 Borders. As you all know, this could never work and we're using normal day politics, so it's like, yeah, you can definitely see how this will work. And, well, let's get right into it. And I know I could have added some stuff, I don't really want to, so what's going to be going on today is that Russia, big revolts are going to be going on. People aren't happy with the way they run their government. Of course, mainly it's Ukrainian rebels, but I'll just say, spare the time, it was German support, and everyone kind of came in and said, yep, this is fine with us, so, looks good. And now, so we saw that the Germans were secretly identifying them. But let's go back to some ambitions. Let's say that they went back to 1914 ambitions that all the empires had and will have. So basically, you know, Serbia does a little thingy down here in Bosnia, and that activates that. Nope. Oh man, that is big coalition forming up against you. Very big coalition forming up against Austria. Hungary, very, very big. Oh, ooh, they got someone joining them. Ooh, they do. Oh, they got some people joining. Oh, they got a few people against them though. Oh man. Ooh. That's this big. No. They wouldn't do that. They're not that dumb. But you know who would? Denmark does this. No? Sounds good to me. So, the first big war, it's basically the entire one side. I just forgot that I did not color in these islands. Yep. Not too small. MIA. Well, we all know how this war went in real life, of course, but we're going to put it back to some real day stuff and say Serbia has a chance, kind of. Not really, but say they do, just to make them happy. Happy. Alright, so here's what the war looks like, and oh man, it is a biggie. Ooh. So, stuff going on down here where the Ottomans are like, well, hell, let's do some stuff down here. And they get in pretty fast. I mean, they had a focus of their troops around their border already because they knew they didn't. They were kind of screwed for if a war happened, so they knew that Saudi Arabia would join in against this, and the British know. They're just gonna let this war, let everyone get tired out and hurt each other. The French are thinking that too. This western box, it'll be this side versus this side. That should be the split, I think. Oh, forgot about one little thing. Italy decides to grab their colony early. Oh yeah, they do. Which will be really not adding anything. It's not going to do much. But the Ottomans are rolling through Saudi Arabia, gangbang on Iran, although it's mainly the Ottomans going through with transporting the Russian troops and stuff, because remember, Russia just got out of a civil war, so they're not going to be doing terribly good. And this is Persia, technically, actually. So, that's something. But, it won't really matter when they're already collapsing, because their government, not too fond of, I mean, the people aren't too fond of the government, so just one thing there. We are, ooh. spearhead making. Oh man, Denmark. Done in 6 hours. I thought this was 1914, not 1939. We're cooking the 1940, but ooh, they stack. So this is where the troops are on their line. They are focusing Austria-Hungary big time. I mean, kind of have to, but whoa, Turkey, you're doing something. And boom, stalemate. So stalemate is like one side, and they just like keep going back and forth, and one makes a little push and then the other makes a little push, but then it sits right there and no one's making any gains. It's kind of how it is, but that won't really matter with all these Romanian troops that are heading down very quickly. But when they do that, oof, they're getting blitzed through very quickly. Well, that's something. You never knew that they could do that, but they are. So Italy, of course, grabs their little place that they want, and they're like, alright, we're good. But then they go a little farther and like, oh, we want some land, actually. And now Germany's like, Italy, you're supposed to be on our side. So Germany sends some units down and blocks them, and if Italy tries to advance, they're probably going to get gassed to eternity. Isn't that so fun? Montenegro collapses. Just kidding, Montenegro's the strongest person of them all. They could never collapse. Strongest country, sorry. Ooh, they're breaking into Serbia. It's not good. Ooh. The big flex of Russian troops, it's not fun. Oh man. Meets up with the Ottomans, and they are kicking some booty. Serbia has to move some troops around, which ultimately lets Austria-Hungary come in, and it's just a gangbang on the blue team. It's not looking too good, but the Ottomans are having a little struggle, though. I mean, yeah, they're pushing in still, but Saudi Arabia's putting up some defenses, and stalemate. They're like this, and they keep going back and forth, and then they just meet in the middle, and can't do anything. Oh, man. Just lost Cyprus, though. That'll be a blow, because that was their big naval fort too here. So here it comes, crashing down. And, uh-oh, failed attempt. What's going on now? Oh man. This guy's joining, they're like, alright, free land, here we go. Free land time. They're grabbing against. Who are they going against, do you think? You know it. You know it. Come on, you gotta know it now. Do you see them going in and you know, ooh, yeah, y'all can see I watch Ada's Pro. That's where I get some of the stuff. But no, they're going after the Ottomans. Kicking some booty too. The Ottomans are falling very fast. No one knew they could fall this fast, and we thought that they were doing so good. British are letting them keep their troops, and they are not walking into here, because we know how that goes, don't we? Sorry for the notifications, but oh man. They're not attacking troops in the other line, because they never know, they could accidentally declare war. Saudi Arabia, and we don't want that to happen, because it's just another front that the British don't want to deal with. So the British are solely taking on the Ottomans with no help at all, and these holdings in there are just held by the British are going against like tanks and stuff, so it's very surprising, and I'm surprised France has not joined in or anything trying to help the blue team yet. But you know how it goes, rebels are popping up now in the Ottomans, and those aren't fun to deal with for anyone or any country or anything. This is ending bad for the Ottomans. They're just their solo corps that they have established, and the British are going to stop there and start demanding some stuff, and the Ottomans, of course, are going to say no. So then they're just going to sit there and wait for blue team to fall. And oh, they came behind the lines, but somehow they did not kill. Moving into Greece now. Ring, ding, ding, ding. Cyprus. Bulk of this. So this is what their naval superiority over this looks like. And Greece is ceding that to British, which means they're ceding themselves to the British. British aren't going to take them, they're just going to leave them, but they're going to cede all the land that they have gained, which is actually pretty smart if you think, so that the British can give it to them in the end, because that's the whole goal. They're trying to make it so that the British they know that the British will do it. They will definitely do it, because if they don't, then that sucks. So, boom. This land is now under British. Well, Turkey says, we'll give you all the land you want, just do not take our land that we need. And so, they eat Bulgaria and they cede. Everyone cedes to the British because they know the British don't want to take them over. And even Turkey cedes to the British as they know how this is going to end. Italy thinks they can do it. Just kidding, they are going to also go to the British. They decide, they're like, well, this war's not really worth it, so the British have power here, like a lot of it too, because they could hurt some countries. They could hurt the red team. Like, they could really hurt the red team. All land that was controlled by blue team is now under British rule, and the British are just going to hold there and wait for what they think is going to go on, because honestly, that's the right thing to do. The blue team was being smart, but I don't know if the Ottomans should have ceded, but because then they're not going to get land, they're going to lose land, maybe. But, so, here's what I think will happen. We're going to have a border kind of up through here for the Ottomans. Yeah. The British are going to leave everything. They're going to take what they want. This land, sadly, the British are going to cede over to Austria-Hungary. They don't want any problems. This, everything's going to go to, now it looks like they're all going to, so everything that won't be colored will be not touched. So this is not touched. Everything is basically not touched. The British demand, if you want us to not annex a ton of stuff, you guys don't get anything. And that's basically how it's going to end, is no one's going to get anything except, well, the British are going to take some things, which is from certain countries. Of course, none of these. This one, yes. This one, yes. No, I'm just kidding. They won't do anything yet, but peace treaty time. I'm going to show you drawing this border because I thought it'd be cool to kind of show what I think the border would look like. So I'm going to show you how I do it usually. So I usually am like, okay, so we're going to draw kind of like what really happened actually. So they got divided up by the French, but remember the French weren't in this war too, so the British are just going to get all the stuff that they would have got. Then of course you have them, and the British are actually going to cede this over to the Saudis, but in return they're gonna ask for more this. Now, what's worth more? Definitely the land that the British are not taking, that are giving away, because it's pretty important down here, but whatever, they are doing what they want to do. And this kind of what I think the border will look like now. I know it's not terribly good or anything. Let me check this, sorry. Some notifications on my shorts going viral. Yes, thank you for 464 subs. Let's check. Alright. Look at that. 464 subs up here. We're doing pretty good. Some of those videos are going viral, and I am okay with that. Okay, so this is the land going to the British. This and Cyprus. Forgot to tell you guys Cyprus. So this is how I usually do this cut. And, well, I might do a part 2. So this is part 1. I'll say this is part 1 of Europe. So this is like another series. We'll call it the European series. The European series. That sounds good. Part 1 looks like this. Okay, so here's how I kind of do it. You kind of just draw or color it in, fill it in with whatever. Now, I know you guys have already seen the program that I use, because I used to not cut out everything, but now I am cutting out stuff. For the people that have not seen my other videos, you can go watch them. I mean, now that you know I said that, it's fine. It's not going to kill me. It's just you guys know what program I'm using, so that kind of hurts. But yeah, this is kind of it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of how this is going to end today, with a British victory, even though they weren't really even in the war. It's funny how things can end. Like, that's how some wars end. It's just like, okay, so it's like, oh. Uh-oh. Alright, this is how it's going to end. Although I probably should. Alright, so here's how it's going to end. Just a little, remember, this is how it looks, and honestly, actually, I bet you 90% sure that, remember, that this was controlled by fully red team, but then the red team ceded it, but now the red team's won it back. So what's the last thing in this treaty today? It's going to be Romania getting fully annexed by Austria-Hungary. Now, would they be able to do this? No, not at all. Of course they couldn't. But we're not talking about realistic stuff here. We're talking about fantasy, kind of. Not really, just maps. And this is what the world looks like. Remember, Russia has a new government. They got taken over. New government. Ceded. Controlled again. I mean, everyone's getting a new government, really. Ooh. So mainly Russia is getting a new government. But, okay, this is what if Europe went back to 1914 borders. So, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.